Ollie?
I don't know if I'm the right person to answer that, but I've seen many times, just like you said here, where science says that it's completely safe. We were told, like with the vaccinations, the corona vaccinations, it was completely safe. There were no risk whatsoever. The risk was if you didn't take it. Now you can go, there are websites with gathering tens and thousands of people with this very severe injuries, death, all kinds of things from these vaccines that was told that they were safe. And so science changed from time to time. If you go back only 20, 30 years, what did science say then about stuff that we are now being told, no, it's bad for you? They used to say, no, it's good for you. So I'm not saying that the scientists here are doing something on purpose. I'm saying they could very well be manipulated from a bigger agenda, where something a lot bigger is going on here. And this is where I specialize, is I don't look at one specific area. I look on the world as such. And I've seen this being played out in many different places. It's called that it's against the avian flu. It's called it's against the malaria. It's for the dengue. It's the swine flu. It's the same setup. And what is going on is not good news in certain areas. And one of the latest ones was in March on Maui, the island of Maui, that just very similar to Bali, but now are looking at an extreme brutal fate. They had a release there of exactly the same. I think it was 10 million in March. They're going to release them every 2 weeks, which is also, as far as I understand, what is being planned for here on Bali. And the project there is to save some rare bird species, but the plan is to continue for 20 years. And it comes from the same regulations as Indonesia is following, as far as I know, so from the World Health Organization and so on. So it's like, what is being pushed here, 20 years of, I don't even know how many millions per year that is going to be released to save 1 or 2 rare bird species. When you look at implications on the ecosystem, that, I mean, like here we hear that, yes, you check the blood of people and the dengue and so on. Have you checked all the birds that eat the mosquitoes that have been released? Was there any problems with the birds, the foxes or other animals that ate birds? Any problems there? Was there any problems with the egg development in the different bird species? Have you checked all the different species there? Has that, when they die, has it in any way affected the fungus in the forest or in the jungle? Is there any problems with the trees? I mean, you're playing around with the bio ecosystem. That is not to be played with at all. Every time human beings have been trying to play God and say we can do it better than God, it's messed up and it backfires in a really, really ugly way, And I think that 77% or so of a good result, great, but does that justify the release of millions and millions? As far as I've been informed, I don't know if it's correct, that there's going to be this release in just a little more than a month here on Bali, in 44 different villages. I don't know if it's 24 or 44, I've heard different things. And it's going to be released in Denpasar, in the north, in the south, in the east, and in the west. Do you think that sounds like everything is like, wouldn't you like to have like a 100% security if you do a release on that scale? Because what about 30, 77? It sounds good, it's 2 out of 3. So what about the last third? What happened there? And with that amount of release, what is that even? How will it affect just the amount of mosquitoes? I don't know if they carry a bacteria, they don't carry a bacteria. How will that look at Australia, where different species have been released in the shape of frogs or whatever, and suddenly there are millions of frogs in there, or foxes, or whatever, or special plants that have been. There's a reason why at the customs in many different countries they do not let in biomaterial. They do not let you take seeds. They don't let you take animals easily transported across borders. There's a reason for that. Here we have flying things that we don't know where they're going to go, how they're going to. We have no idea. Thank you, Mr. Scientist. Do I trust you? I trust your intention. Do I trust that the outcome of this thing will be good? Absolutely not, not. I am terrified in looking at what can happen if this goes forward. I mean, absolute disaster. And then you can bring forward all of your papers saying, well, we published this one, we published that one. Well, there you go. Tell all of the victims, tell all of these things in nature that, well, this paper shows you that that's not going to happen. Well, it just did. What are you going to do then? Let me know. If this backfires, please let me know that you got a backup plan saying, okay, if we have any problems, we will just withdraw all of the mosquitoes. We'll recall them saying, come back to base, return home, and we'll take care of you. Can you do that? If not, this is madness, absolute pure madness. And no disrespect to scientists, but look at what science have done in the shape of development of weapons and bombs and many, many things that have been created. People are talking about the Nobel Prize as it's something really prestigious. It is, but where does the money come from? It comes from Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite. And from this thing that have then been developed into weapons in so many different ways, the profits from that has then been turned into this prize that has then been given to many different areas. If you ask me, it's blood money. And so are we supposed to worship these forces that are putting these things forward? The Bill and Melinda Gates, are they completely clean? Have they got a completely clean record behind them? If you look, they are being tracked down now by the Corona Investigative Committee. Like it's more than 100. I don't know if Rainer Fulmich is here with us tonight, but he's the head of that. 100 different international lawyers. He took on Deutsche Bank, one of them. He has been really taking. They're going to court. Many are trying to take them to court for so many different crimes. And here we have him even having been visiting Bali just a few weeks ago, as far as I know, been part of donating these things into this project. Also, this Ossitec company in the UK that is highly controversial.